bailamos por libres, bailamos, bailamos, 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 bailamos por libres.
Welcome back to season 6 of the Unshakable Woman podcast, where we have ladies who come and share their God-given purpose journeys, and they are walking in them. And let me tell you, this young lady who we have today with us, we are recently new friends, but I only had to meet her once, and our souls connected. This woman is full of wisdom, full of grace, and of course, she has a story to share about walking in her God-given purpose. Welcome to the Unshakable Woman podcast, Olu.
Hello, Michelle. How are you?
I'm so great. I'm so excited that you are here with us tonight. Just sit back, relax, and we are going to have a really good time.
Yes. I feel it. I feel it.
Well, we talk purpose here. And, when I first met you, we sat down and I literally felt like I was sitting up underneath, this wise woman, maybe like an adopted auntie. And I know everyone probably feels that about you because, I hearing you, what some people say about me, we never can see ourselves as other people see us, but you are a wise woman full of wisdom. So let's talk about what your brand is, what you bring to the market, and a little bit about your journey and how you got there.
Well, thank you for having me on your show. I've been anticipating this moment. So
glad to have you.
God works in amazing ways, right?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
For me, I work with high achieving women.
Mm-hmm.
And I help them to navigate the silent struggles that they often go through, and they're not able to share or have someone who understands them to be able to take them through that journey. And the reason I started, God really guided me through a really difficult time. Oftentimes we go through difficult times to be able to get to where we need to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But I went through a really difficult time, and I was them. And I was working corporate. I had young children. And on the outside, it looked like my life was really, really good. I was in church. I was serving in the youth ministry, in the women's ministry, and just really involved in external life.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a part of me that was just struggling. I felt like I was not working in purpose. I felt like there was something greater, something more expansive that God wanted to do for me and with me and in my life. And I was at work one day, walking a client out, and I collapsed. I ended up in the hospital. And while in the hospital, I had an out-of-body experience. And
wow.
Yes. And this out-of-body experience, I found myself on a mountaintop. And on the mountaintop, I was fully illuminated. That's where the name comes from for my brand. That's the word God dropped in me. I was fully illuminated, and I looked down on this mountain, and I felt free. I looked down on each side, and I saw these stick figures. I thought they were stick figures, but they were people. And as the light hit them, they started to move. And their light started to evolve. It happened on all sides of the mountain. And then I woke up. That was a defining moment for me, because I had spent so many nights asking God, is this all that you have for me? I didn't feel fulfilled. And I know there are a lot of women out there making a lot of money who are having private frustrations, wants, desires, expectations on us as women. I'm Nigerian, Yoruba girl. There are expectations, cultural expectations on us. In our faith community, there are expectations for us women. As women by nature, we have all these roles that we have to play. And then you add the businesses and there are just so many things. A lot of relationships are quietly starving or going through transitions and so on. So for me, I went through that in a realistic, hard earned way. And God has now used me and is using me to help other women and to help them to move past those roadblocks and growth paths that they have to grow through to be able to be in full purpose of their lives. So that is the birth of Olumination Enterprises. And in my language, Oluwa means God and
No way.
nation. Yes, and nation. So it took me a long time to even put it together. Isn't it amazing? It's right on your nose. You can't see it. And it's God's nation. I
Wow.
am working in God's nation for God's people and for God's purpose.
So let's put a finger right in that chapter right there. So can you share where you are from? And then we're gonna move forward, because maybe people are looking at her name trying to figure out, and they're listening to you like, well, she doesn't sound like she's from America.
Yeah, I can sound with very heavy accents too. I am Nigerian. I came to the United States when I was 17 years old, which was 30 something years old ago. And I came here to study because, those were part of the expectations. You go to school, go to school, get married, have children. You have to have children at the right time, or the aunties are after you. And I did all that. And yes, I've been here since that time. Of course, I go back and forth home. I have family. But yes, I got married here and I did have my children here. I have 4 kids. I've had 4 kids in the United States and a lifestyle here. Yes.
Nice. Okay, well, let's get back to the subject now that you know who Olu is. And welcome to all of my family from Lagos. I hope you're going to enjoy this podcast.
Yes, my Lagos people.
Oh, because Olu is my sister now here and lives right near me. Let's start back with your business. And so you help high achieving women, and I'm going to share a little bit later in the podcast of what you did for me. So when you work with these ladies, can you give us kind of what is the expectation if someone came to you? What are they going to get from your program? What are your deliverables?
Well, there are 2 kinds of women that come to me. Some come to me situational, meaning they're going through a major crisis, they're going through a situation, and they need to figure it out. And that's their entry point to my work. The second kind of woman is a woman who has this unsettling, this desire in her, who feels she needs more. God needs to show her more. God created her for more, and she wants to grow through it. That kind of a client would work with me in a group setting in my teaching element. So I have the private coaching for the one-on-ones, but then I also have group events. I do what I call the gatherings, where I gather ladies. I'm going to be doing one in Canada next month.
Nice.
Where we gather together and we throw topics on the table. And it gives me an opportunity to share my wealth of wisdom and experience, because, there's a Yoruba proverb that says that no matter how many new clothes a young person has, they can't have as many rags as an elderly person. So you earn those rags,
Right.
So yeah, I like to share my experiences and really help people to understand who they are in Christ. Because once you know who you are in Christ, you're able to look at your business differently and look at your life differently and how you relate in it.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So with me, I came to you specifically because you're from Nigeria, and I had a need in my business as a businesswoman, and connecting to this new sector of people who I generally do not do business with. So do you have women who you help both internationally and domestically here in the US besides Canada?
Oh, definitely. My clients are spread all over the world, mainly in the UK, Canada, the United States, and Nigeria. For
Okay.
now, that's where, I have one in Hong Kong, I have one in Paris, but we Nigerians and Africans and Black women are all over the place, right? But
Yes.
I do, primarily, I do work with women who are of African descent or influence. That's really where I've been doing most of my work because it's really culturally aware work we do. I believe I am known as a cultural intelligence expert because I teach, I write articles about, and I speak about the importance of acknowledging our cultures. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter whether you're Hispanic or whatever, but we come from cultures.
Yes.
We have a Black culture here. The Black experience in America is different from the Black experience elsewhere in Canada and
Yes.
so on. So when we really look at ourselves and we want to be honest with our authenticity, we have to acknowledge our background. And then
Mm.
we move forward from our background because anything else is going to be a band aid.
Mm.
It's not going to match what it is that our world is and our solutions should be.
Mm.
So I work, that's how come I work with people and I meet people of diverse backgrounds.
You have a wealth of information to share. A wealth of information. So if there is a young lady who is listening to the sound of your voice today and she says, I think this woman would be great to have in my space. I think she can really help me.
Yes.
And she calls you and she says, Olu, I need your services. Where's your starting point with new people coming in, and what would you advise for them?
Um, there are two areas. One I always recommend for people is to book a one-on-one.
Okay.
It's so easy because
Mm-hmm.
when we do a one-on-one, I'm able to determine where you're at
Mm-hmm.
and what you really need. Do you need to be in a group or do you need me personally? Are you dealing with a situational event, or
Mm-hmm.
where do we start off? That's one entry point to my work. I
Okay.
have a gift that I give out. It's called the Hidden Mistakes Ambitious Women Make in Relationships.
I need that. I
I
need
wrote
that.
that after so many years of seeing a thread with very ambitious and high achieving women. There's
Yeah.
a thread to the women, the kinds of relationships they're attracted to, the kinds of issues they have. And it's a good starting point to start conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's another way to connect with me. By downloading that, you'll join my community and you'll start getting information from me. But what I recommend the most is to do the one-on-one call. Click the link and from my website and just connect, because that's where you start off. You get involved in the tribe illumination. Tribal illumination is our parent community. It's
Mm-hmm.
our tribe. And from tribal illumination is where we have all these gatherings and events and so on.
Oh,
So,
that sounds like so much fun.
yes.
I'm ready to dig in and to start getting out with you and really meeting with ladies and walking in purpose and aligned purpose with you all. You know,
Alignment is important.
it absolutely is. And I think all of us need mentors and all of us need to be mentees. And your tribe is so essential. But your tribe can be what? Your mentor. It also can be your ride or die. It could be your
Yes.
caregiver. There's a number of labels in who is in your tribe. Um,
Yes.
and the label I have for you is my love hard wisdom woman.
Oh,
Because I love the way you give advice, but you give it very direct, very to the point, and it's well received because of how you deliver.
Thank you for that. May I say something?
Yes.
I feel that as women,
Mm-hmm.
we need to be able to speak the truth to
Yeah.
one another,
Yeah.
to be able to get to that place, that destination that our hearts crave for. And oftentimes we palate the truth, we palate things, we with story around it, the
Yeah.
pink elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. And it's
Yes.
people who really love us,
Yes.
that take us through those journeys. And your life is as best as the questions you ask, people who ask you the right questions, and you have the opportunity to reflect on it. And then, you come to your own conclusion, but it's a higher level conclusion as opposed to a mediocre way of coasting.
Yes. I love that. I love that. I need to put that as a quote on social media.
Yeah.
I need to put that out as a quote. You
Amazing,
have
thing.
such an amazing spirit to you,
You.
and I'm going to put you on the hot seat here. You ready?
Okay.
So you also are an ambassador for Miss Corporate America here
Yes.
for the state of Florida. And I don't know all what that entails, but what I would like to ask you is, in your perfect world, what is it that you would like to bring to the state of Florida, or what is it that you would like to connect with a woman in the state of Florida in that role as ambassador? If you
Ooh.
had the choice to say, let me just write these expectations for myself and see if they're okay with them and just deliver it.
Mhm.
In the perfect world, how would you move forward as an ambassador?
Oh, I love that question. Love it. The role of ambassador is almost a discipleship. That's the way I look at
Mm,
it.
nice.
Um, yeah, because we're disciples of God. We carry the message of God. And the Miss Corporate America organization is not a beauty pageant.
Mhm.
It is a group of strong women who have stories, who have calls on their lives, who have passions, who have things that they're doing in spite of the challenges they've been through or they're going through.
Mm,
And it is an organization that is in full alignment with my brand and my work, my call.
mm,
And what I would like to bring is a voice of safety, a
mm.
voice of growth, where you enter there and you leave your mask and the external, whatever it is that we do,
Yes.
and you are able to come in there and just be yourself, connect with real women, and move forward in a sisterhood.
Mm,
And I think that if that alone can happen, it'll be the most coveted
mm,
space.
mm.
Because who doesn't want to be in a place where they're safe, where they
Right.
feel heard, and they feel that they can be elevated?
Yeah.
So that is my role and what I want. And I want to bring culture. I want to bring people from different diverse backgrounds into it too,
Yes.
from my own community and communities that I have access to.
I love that. Yay. All right. Well, I guess the last question I have for you, Olu, you are so full of wisdom. If there is a young lady who is listening to you and she is just sitting in her seat, fired up, like, I am so ready to jump on board with Olu. But before she calls you and she's listening to your voice now, and she is ready to make that leap, and she's having some issues as a high earning businesswoman, just walking in her purpose. Tonight, what could she place on her plate to start just for her in her own home tonight? What is that tool you could give her right now?
Cheryl, you're coming up with some really good questions here. What I could leave with that person is this. As I said earlier, your life, the quality of your life is really dependent on the questions you're asking yourself. I believe in deep self-reflection. And I would like them to ask a question, like her to ask herself a question or two. Number one is, who am I? Who am I without the makeup, the wig, the lashes? And when you look in the mirror, who is looking back at you? It's scriptural.
Yeah.
You look in the mirror, you don't want to forget who that person is. Oftentimes we forget who that person is.
Yes.
Number two is, what do you really want? What has God told you? What is that desire that's keeping you up at night? And the third question is, how can I get it? What do I need to step out of my comfort zone, to step out of my everyday, what will people say? I really need to just stay in this space and move into that and get that thing. So if they can do those three things, ask those questions. Who am I? What do I want? And then how do I go about getting it? That will lead them to getting the proper help. It may be me, it may be somebody else, but because I believe in alignment. Not everybody is going to work with everybody, but I think that would help them along the way, and it will also unruffle their feathers, make them think a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. What a great answer, and what a way to end the podcast. I am so excited and so grateful for you taking time out of your busy, busy schedule to be with us today on this podcast. Ladies, I need you to follow Olu. Olu, how can they find you on social media or your website?
My website is oluadetutu.com. My name, just oluadetutu.com. I am Olu Adetutu on LinkedIn. I'm on all socials. Just type in Olu Adetutu and you'll find me. And just send me a message. I have appointment links in there. You can send me private messages, and you can also sign up for one of my classes. So just connect with me and reference the podcast so that I'll know Unshakeable Woman, where you heard about me, and I can give you an extra little treat.
Oh, that's nice. You heard that, ladies, especially my Cali ladies who are always listening to this podcast while you are working or walking or riding your bike. So if you missed that, if you're not watching it but listening, go to our post and you can click on her social handles to connect with Olu Adetutu. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. I don't want to mess up anyone's name. I am so very grateful for your time today. And I'm grateful to everyone who tuned in with us. We are very grateful that you listen to us, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or Spotify, because you can tune into any other podcast, but you share this space with us. Don't forget to follow our special guest today, especially those who are high-performing women who are struggling in walking in their full God-given purpose. Thank you again, Olu. We're so very grateful. Thank you, Teresa J, for your amazing music and opening our show every single week.
Yes.
And to those who are following us, make sure you subscribe and share the podcast.
Yes. Sending you all love. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you. Wishing you the same. God bless you. May the Lord grant you favor and abundance and joy.
Amen.
You guys, we'll see you next week. Until then, continue to walk in love, forgiveness, and of course, live unshakable. We'll see you next week. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye-bye.